Hello, we are THESE.TITANS.WERE.SILENT, and we are here at the Titans Club in Lens, Belgium. That's our second time here, and as last time we had a blast on stage, and we opened tonight for Lex Inc. and Dementia Mortis, and it was such a pleasure to be here. I give the mic to Jan Vervaek here.
Yeah, I just want to tell you a little bit about the band, really. So we started playing together about a year and a half ago. Xavier and I met up at a bar and we decided we wanted to play music together that kind of mixed stoner, heavy metal, post-rock, that sort of stuff. And then we met up with Joachim. Joachim was super excited to sing with us. He knew Chris, who wanted to play bass, and we met Geoffrey, who played the drums. All in all, we started playing together, we had a great time, and that's how the band started, really. Now, I just want to say a few things about the band name, These Titans Were Silent. Well, really, it was all a story about being at a bar and talking about band names. And we didn't have a lot of really good ideas. And then suddenly we're like, Silent Titans, something, Silence, Titans. These Titans Were Silent. Yeah, that's a great name. It's a long name. That's a good post-rock name. That's really where we want to go. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Now I'll pass the mic on to Chris, who is going to introduce himself.
So hi, I'm Chris. I'm the bass player. I actually was a guitar player initially, but Joachim asked me to play the bass in the band, so I accepted because I'm a big fan of post-rock. And yeah, John lent me his bass. We did our first rehearsal a few days after, and it went really well. And so, to tell you how we work, actually we are all songwriters. So most of the time, someone comes with an idea, like a riff or arpeggio or something, and we try to improvise from it, and we build our songs just by jamming, actually. And that's what's cool, because everyone brings his ideas, and it's really a mix of all our influences. So, it's your turn.
Hi, I'm Jeff, not Geoffrey. I'm the drummer from These Titans Were Silent. My story with the band is really simple. They needed a drummer. I'm a drummer. That's all. And actually, that's it. I play in another band which called Rapture Farm with my brother and my best friend. It's a rock band, and we play show all over the France, and we have a very special live in January at La Boule Noire in Paris with the great band Helios.
Hey, me again. My name is Xavier, and I'm the guitarist and co-creator of the band. As Chris said, we all write our parts in the songs. I really enjoy the way we play, the way we create music together at the wall thing. And I have other bands. I have another band which is in creation right now. It's a stoner band, psychedelic stoner, with a good friend of mine. Now I'm letting the mic to Jan Vervaek.
So I'm Jan Vervaek, I'm the other guitarist in the band. I don't really have much more to say because they all said about how we work. So, I'm just going to talk to Joachim.
You can tell that you are the writer of the lyrics.
Oh, right. So that's the thing. That's I write lyrics for the bands, and for me they're kind of personal. So I'm a historian of Britain, and I write lyrics that are based on a British poem from 1819 for now. And that's really going to be the concept of our first album, which we hope is going to come out by the end of the year, really.
So I'm Joachim. I'm the band's vocalist, and I remember I met Xavier at a concert at a show, and we became friends. And I remember like he told to me, come have a drink, and I came. We have a drink, and there was John Eric, and they told me we want to make a rock band. We want to make a band, and we would like to do a band mostly instrumental, but we would like you to sing on one part. And I was like, yeah, pleasure, my pleasure, really. And we started to talk, and we started to drink, and we started to talk again, and we started to drink again. And eventually, at the end of the night, we were like, well, you're not going to sing on just one song, you're going to sing on every song. And I was like, yeah, I would love to. So, that's the story. I used to be in a band called Fluctuate. We used to do deathcore. And now I'm in another band called The Desperate Sons. It's 70s rock based in Paris too. So now I'm going to talk to you about my 3 favorite album of all time. It's not the album I always listen. It's just the 3 album I would take into an island, you know. So my first album, I think it would be "Wish You Were Here" by Pink Floyd. I remember my father told me it was an album I used to listen even when I was not born. So, really great album. I would say perfect for me. It has really great meaning, you know, great meaning for me. The second album is another band of this period. It's Led Zeppelin, the fourth album. Another album I used to listen when I was not born, and with, I don't know, this power. Well, everybody knows Led Zeppelin 4th. The third album would be Napalm Death, Apex Predator, Easy Meat. It's an album I really love. It is, you know, for me it symbolizes this. You can have a 30-year career in a band. You can be like the greatest band in grindcore and still do one of your greatest album. For me, this album, Apex Predator Easy Meat, is one of Napalm Death's greatest album. So I'm really impressed by them, and I'm really impressed by this persistence and this authenticity they have. And now I'm going to give to Jan Erik the mic.
So I'm going to talk about my own favorite 3 albums, and I guess I'm not going to talk about the Cranberries, though our neighbors just sang Zombie out of the blue, which is cool. However, anyway, my 3 favorite albums, I guess the first one would have to be the live album by Blind Guardian. That's really one of the albums that got me into metal. That's really one of the albums that I will always go back to, and that gives me literal chills whenever I listen to it. My second favorite album, I think, would have to be an Enslaved album, and I think I would go with Vertebrae. I think Vertebrae was the first black metal album that I listened to that really made me understand that you could do really weird proggy things with really weird sounds while playing some really deep black metal. And the third favorite album, it would have to be Brave New World by Iron Maiden. One, because it's Iron Maiden, and come on, up the irons and all that. But not just that, it's also one of those albums that I just kept getting back to. And one of those albums where I was like, yeah, I'll play guitar and I'll play most of the songs off of that album. That's what I really want to try to do. So yeah, I guess that's my 3, and I'll give the mic to Xavier, and he can tell you a bit about his 3 albums.
Thank you. And yes, my 3 favorite album of all time. if I had to choose, it's a really hard exercise for me because I listen to a lot of different style and music and different genre and different bands. And if I had to choose, I would go with Face No More album, King for a Day, Full for Lifetime, which is an album I always go back to, and it's an album that made me want to play music when I was young. Second favorite album would be something from Yes, maybe, or yeah, that would be Yes, the great American band Yes. Maybe Close to the Edge. I don't know. My heart is between Close to the Edge and Taste for Topography Ocean, which are two wonderful albums. And if I have to choose one, it will be Close to the Edge. The third one will be something from the third one will be something from a songwriter I really enjoy. His name is Steven Wilson. I'm sure you know about it. You know about him. And maybe from his band Porcupine Tree. Maybe from his band from Porcupine Tree, and I'm not really sure. Excuse me, c'est atroce. J'entends plus rien, c'est atroce. Je reprends au troisième. So my third favorite album will be something from Steven Wilson or Porcupine Tree, and if I have to choose one, it would be the last album from Steven Wilson's solo career, and it will be To the Bone, because this album made me realize you can be a master of prog music and be a master of everything you touch and make pop and make good pop music. And this album taught me something that only Steven Wilson can teach me. So I leave the mic to my dear friend Jeffrey.
Well, one thing, I play in a post-rock band, but I don't listen post-rock. I never listened post-rock. I just saw a live show, but that's all. I'm a huge fan of hip-hop music, so my first album is Straight Outta Compton from NWA. My second album of all time, and damn, I love this band. I fucking love this band, is Hysteria from Def Leppard. And the third, I can choose, so I'm gonna say the whole discography of Blink-182. I'm a huge fan of pop punk, and them I love. So I let the mic.
Okay, so my first one would be probably Master of Puppets by Metallica, because that's basically the album that made me want to play music, and especially the guitar. Then I would say Caspian with Waking Season or Dust and Disquiet. Caspian is the band that made me discover post-rock, and I think it's one of the best acts in this genre. And finally, I would say that Brown-Tide, Sans Souci, is the third one for me. It's an amazing instrumental rock band, and you should listen it if you like this genre. It's really, you never know what's gonna happen. It's really great.
Just to finish, we want to thank the man behind the camera, Jan Vervaeke, who is doing this interview for Jan Vervaeke Foto and Film and for Metal To Infinity. And check him out on Facebook, check us out on Facebook, check us out on Instagram. Just make sure you keep up with our news, and we'll play some shows real soon. Actually, we're playing tomorrow in northern France, so that'll be really cool.